5 segments. Didn't realize it was going to do that. So right away we start off with some uphill, reasonably steep pitch here. You hear the motor starting to bog. So yeah, this is paved, but it's not in good shape. So now we flatten out. So this basically stair steps its way up. There's the occasional downhill, occasional flat section, but it is mostly uphill. The KOM on this is at 30 kilometers an hour, which is pretty good since it's significantly uphill and because the pavement is not in good condition. And when they're doing maintenance on this road, it gets ripped up a lot, so you will sometimes have to deal with gravel sections, which would be no fun on a road bike with 25mm tires. It's really windy. The wind is slightly out of the northwest. We're heading basically due north. That means that we're dealing with a cross headwind. There's a conservation area at the end of this, so assuming we'll see a fair bit of traffic, people going to the conservation area, starting to try and live normal lives. Okay, we start stair-stepping our way up here again. And then we get downhill through like a bowl where we go down and instantly go up again. Most of the hills here are the steep ones anyways. They're preceded by a little downhill going in. So that's a bonus. Oh, and I've completely de-restricted this thing for this effort, this attempt. So now we go down into a bowl and then climb out. Going 40 kilometers an hour. This time we should go faster on downhills because completely de-restricted. It will basically assist till the motor can't do anymore. We're wearing basketball shorts that I can feel are flapping in the breeze. We're using platform pedals with skateboard shoes. This bike has a completely upright riding position. My torso is basically vertical and my upper body is completely exposed to the wind. So this is giving the bike difficulty here, but we're still going 35 km an hour up it. I've got the Strava Live segment. Open on my Garmin, and right now it's saying we're already 2 minutes ahead of the fastest time. One of the most sustained climbs. the battery, as long as the motor doesn't overheat, it'll just do it forever, which a human being can't. And I'm pedaling the entire time. I feel a little bit of resistance, so we are assisting a tiny little bit, but honestly maybe 1-2%. Like I had said, in atrocious shape, so I bet you the KOMs will change on this road now, because there's a few kilometers of really good pavement, but it used to be really bad pavement. Of course, the KOM will be completely demolished today by electric fat bike, but this won't be made public. Some significant uphill plus a headwind. This thing is destroying human power, hopes, and dreams. Estimated battery usage, and if it keeps at this rate, we would lose more than half the battery. We're only at half battery. We may have to use the battery sparingly to get home, but it is mostly downhill. On this route. This is an up roll, and then we go down, and then into possibly, I'd say, it's the hardest section of this climb. This road. It's pretty much a wall. I don't know if you guys can tell. You'll be able to tell when the motor starts bogging down. So I rechecked the specs on this bike. So this bike is 68 pounds, and I'm like 170 pounds. So the same ain't no light bike. Doing this is giving me new respect for 500 watts. So now we have another bowl where we go down and then up, and we'll carry some speed into the uphill section. Flattens out with the light rolls, and then we're going to deal with the second hardest pitch, and then it actually drops down to the finish line. Uphill, little bonus. We pretty much used up half the battery to go 16 kilometers. So you use this thing unrestricted, you're going to use major battery. This is a wall. shoes up. Trying to help. I think what I'm feeling is all that reduced battery capacity means there's less voltage. So it's definitely affected the grunt. Now we have pretty much continuous downhill until it goes up slightly to the finish line. You see all the smoky haze in the distance from all the forest fires? That would have been a beautiful view. Bug in the face, big bug in the face. Some bug butts in the face, I think. So, yeah, I'm not sure which way I'm going to go home. If we go home to the way right, we have less uphill. But yeah, so I'll get home and we'll upload this to Strava and see how we did. I'm pretty sure we demolished it completely and utterly since I was running this bike completely unrestricted. All right, so we're now home. And so here's the information. So the total ride ended up being 36.76 kilometers. Took us 1 hour, 1 minute, 57 seconds. Our average speed for the entire ride is 35.6 kilometers an hour. We ended up using like 3/4 of the battery, and we used more than half of it just on the way out there. So using that electric fat bike unrestricted, up significant amounts of uphill, sucks battery life like crazy. So here is the segment that we're actually interested in today. So it's 11.81 kilometers. There's 219 meters of elevation gain. And so here is the profile. You can see basically just stair steps its way up. And then there's a downhill to the finish. The fastest time was set in 2014. 23 minutes, 32 seconds, which are a little over 30 kilometers an hour. The best I've done under human conditions is 27 minutes, 22 seconds in 2016. And I did that on a Celsa Fargo with 2.35 inch tires. So I think that's a decent time considering the type of bike I was using. And the road that this is on is really, really bumpy and in poor shape. So it's, a lot of people don't enjoy doing it because it's so bumpy. So where are we here? So this is what we're interested in. We're interested in the Hazelwood Complete that I just showed you. So here's our time, 18 minutes, 39 seconds. We averaged 38 kilometers an hour up what is essentially almost entirely uphill, and except for the last downhill to the finish. We had a max speed of 55.8 kilometers an hour, which I believe is a downhill to the finish. So the time we were trying to beat here is 23 minutes, 32 seconds at 30.1 kilometers an hour. So we destroyed it by multiple minutes. So
when you see these 20-inch electric fat bikes around, they're no joke. They have significant amounts of power, and if you use them unrestricted, they'll be faster than most every human-powered bicycle out there. Okay, so this I think is the most prestigious segment on that road, and basically, you know where I showed you where it was brand new pavement? So basically it starts here at Melbourne and then goes up to this high point at Goreville Road, and that's the most difficult sustained part, where it basically stair steps its way up for how long is it here? 2 kilometers. So the fastest time there is 4:06, 28.6 kilometers an hour. We did it in 3 minutes 14 seconds at 36.2 k an hour. Funny enough, our estimated power is 666, number of the beast. The best I've done under human power is 4 minutes 59 seconds. And again, I did that on my Celsa Fargo with 2.35 inch tires, so I don't think that's too bad a time, considering I did it on a mountain bike, what is essentially a mountain bike. Where else here? Hazelwood downhill. So yeah, there's the final downhill to our turnaround point. So I'm curious what we did there. So we did 45.5 kilometers an hour because we're essentially spun out. We don't have the gearing. We hit 55.8, but interestingly enough, under human power, I have that segment. The one day that I went there, everything just went out right. 56 seconds, average speed of 57.7. So I still actually have some segments here in town that I did under human power that still stand. So I did that in 2015. So in essentially 6 years, no one has been faster down that hill. So tooting my horn a little bit there, I guess. But next is essentially the same segment, but in reverse. So that would be, here, let's find it. So that would be doing that entire segment, but in reverse downhill. So you know what? I wasn't going to show it because I did it on the way down, but we lost like 3/4 of our battery on the way up there. So on the way down, we didn't have like the full voltage of the battery assisting us. So I want to do it when I'll basically ride out there using as little battery as possible, and then come back down with as much battery juice as possible. So we have the full voltage for the flat sections and for any of the slight uphill sections. So here it is here. So let's see. So yeah, 17 minutes, 43 seconds. We beat the time by 1 second. This guy was under human power. This guy's a very, very good rider. 17:44. We did it in 1 second faster. So that their average speed was 39 kilometers an hour. We did it in 38.1. Our maximum on the way back was 58.3. So I'm curious what his maximum speed was, which is probably close to 70 k an hour. 63. So yeah, it was 4 or 5 kilometers an hour faster top speed. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm going to definitely do more of these. Like I said, I'm going to go out there another time when the battery, use as little battery to get to the starting point, and then do the downhill section again with more battery grunt. I think we'll be able to do that a little bit faster. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm going to make some more of these. And I want to say, now that I've uploaded some new videos, I've gotten some comments saying they're happy to see me posting new content. So I really appreciate those comments. They definitely give me encouragement to start making some more content for you guys. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.